you speaking? How do you speak? Are you a deliberate, conscious communicator, or do you run off in unending stories? Are you precise with your speech? As you do one thing, you do all things. We are highlighting different behaviors this week so that we can become more conscious of how we're living, so that we can pay attention to things we may be doing unconsciously to hurt ourselves and others. Today is about speech, and it is absolutely one of the top 3 subjects for me. I have been a wordsmith and really a delighter of communication my whole life. Typical Gemini. And because I have trained yoga teachers for, 15 plus years, it's become a science for me. And I want to share some of this with you. We talk a lot. We talk a lot all throughout the day. Even if you live by yourself and work in front of a computer, you are talking quite a bit. And so to become aware of why we're talking, how we're talking, what's the point of talking, can really be a game changer in our lives. And this has been so valuable for me. So when I was running Verge Yoga and I ran teacher trainings, the biggest differentiator of how we taught yoga teachers was teaching people how to cue intentionally, how to move people in and out of a yoga pose. In other words, how to communicate what you need someone to do very clearly, just enough, and not too much. And it definitely spilled over into how we were living, how we were talking to kids, how we were explaining things at work. And so there's this acronym that we use when we are teaching teachers how to teach yoga. The acronym is W.A.I.T, W-A-I-T, and it simply stands for Why Am I Talking? And so for today, I really can only leave you with this. It's very simple. When you are speaking during the day, think about weight and cross your fingers. Crossing your fingers is a visceral reminder to ask yourself the question, why am I talking? Now, that's not to say don't talk. It's just to ask yourself the question, why? Right now, I am speaking to you, communicating in 6 to 7 minutes this idea of conscious communication, of being aware of your speech. That's my goal. Sometimes we're talking without a goal, right? We've become sloppy communicators in conversations. And what happens is we just start to run off at the mouth. We add to the noise out there. So today is really just a very high level pointer, pointing to becoming aware of how you talk out there, how you're speaking, why you're speaking. Do you have an end in mind? And so this is something that when training teachers, you always want to have that end in mind. Now, it's easy when you're teaching a yoga class because the end is, the journey is bringing people in and out of a yoga pose. But when you're speaking out there in a conversation, what is the end in mind? And then getting to that end precisely, clearly, simply. And then asking yourself at some point, why am I talking? Right? Knowing. So in the end here, I told you it's a big subject. And it's not easy to deliver for me in such a short period of time because I've spent my career in this kind of communication. So I'm going to simplify this for you. Cross your fingers. Why am I talking? That doesn't mean don't talk. It just means be aware. Be more aware of the point of the conversation that you're having, or the point of what you want to express. So that's one thing. Why am I talking? The second thing is to remember what the point is. What are you trying to convey? And get there, right? Because oftentimes if we're not aware, we go off on tangents. And you know when you do that, and you know when someone else does that. Have a destination to what you want to express. This is just an exercise. It's not a have to, right? It's just, it may wake you up to a lot.